Well, okay, guys. We're going to end it here on this. Before I get into my ending monologue, I have a prediction. I think that, one, JD Vance is a bad matchup against Gavin Newsom. And if JD Vance runs against Gavin Newsom, and polls show this, it's like he's 10 points down currently against Gavin, or like 49-41 in aggregate. It's like 8 to 10 points down. And so, look, JD Vance is not a good matchup. The Republicans, they need to think of somebody else. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Who?
Jewish space lasers.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now I got your attention with Jewish space lasers. By the way, she never said that, unfortunately. If she had said that, trust me, it would be at the beginning of like my compilation of every show. Okay, I was looking for it. And this is one of the times where you learned, oh, the liberal media lied to you. They just telephone gamed it. She was talking about a fire with the Rothschilds. So the Rothschilds had a laser. No, she never said Jewish space laser, unfortunately. But I actually think she would be a better choice than JD. I have friends, this is not my opinion, but I have friends who say they will not vote for JD Vance. These are people who enthusiastically voted for Trump because JD Vance has an Indian wife. And they also look at Gavin Newsom. He's like, Gavin Newsom's like the all-American kind of guy. And so, and look, I don't take these opinions, but this is the deep part of the Republican core. There's a lot of people like that. Do you think that JD Vance can really win, or do you think we need to swap him out for something like an MTG?
I still like JD Vance for the spot. And, if Marjorie's coming in swinging, we'll see how it shakes out. But I still like JD Vance for the spot.
I don't know, whenever JD speaks, I like him. He doesn't say anything that like repulses me. But yeah, I think that's crazy that Gavin's like 10 points up because California is like always on fire,
Yeah,
like, naturally or like man-made fire.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying the polls show that that's the most likely outcome right now. So, and I guess the other way I could put it is like, look, JD Vance, I like him too. My nickname for him at the beginning was JD minus Vance because he wasn't very good at the beginning. And he did more interviews than Kamala and Tim Walz combined, and times like 5. And he even did more than Trump. And just like we're doing now, he got better and better and better every rep. I really respect that. He hasn't done anything wrong. Al Gore, once he lost, right, trying to, against George W. Bush in the same situation, right? VP trying to, take on the legacy, right? And Bill Clinton's approval rating was like 60%, somewhere between 55 and 60. And even Al Gore couldn't overcome the unpopularity of the Bill Clinton administration and the sex scandal stuff, right? And so, and other things, but, and his lack of charisma, but you know what I'm saying, right? Trump's at 43%. JD Vance could be perfect. He could be 110% as good as you could do it. And Trump could be an anchor around his neck. And so you kind of need someone who's like outside the administration, which is why I think MTG would be good. But what do you think about my theory, Steve?
Well, I'd like to know historically, like, how often has that poll where for the VP to come in as the presidential candidate after the term, how many of them have actually pulled that off?
It's hard, and it's harder and harder the more modern we get. 24-hour news cycle.
It is a tough
but Biden did it, so if Biden could do it.
Yes, though it was suspicious that, they did, Yeah, they didn't use him the first time when they could have, the Hillary time, and then they brought him in, and somehow he got 15 million more than Barack Obama and Hillary. It was a little suspicious, but yes, he did come in, but he didn't come in right
out
after.
Of a coffin, blew some dust off of him, shot him full of stem cells and steroids, cocaine, whatever else, and sent him out.
To against your point, though, I mean, they waited 4 years, right? So they didn't do him immediately after Obama, because immediately after Obama, he might have been unpopular. Get what I'm saying? So that's why Hillary was an interesting choice, because at least she was outside of the administration.
Well, isn't like Obama like the man still, or no, not as much?
he's fading. It's a great question. Like, he still obviously is the big figure, right? Kind of like Nancy Pelosi was the overhanging figure. But, Michelle Obama used to be like, oh, we could bring her out like Mariano Rivera and close any game. You know?
Look, I grew up in the generation of the school lunches that she fucked up. All right. Everyone who went to school, my generation, is like, all right, this is all Michelle Obama. The reason why we're eating slop right now, that's nutritious. So I don't think so.
That's fine. Well, so the notion was they would poll it and she would be the most popular Democrat by far. Now, to your point, are those two Democrats, are they the most popular Democrats? Yeah, but they're not nearly as popular as they once were. They don't have the stranglehold, and honestly, they don't have the dominant figure anymore. It's like AOC, kinda, really. Like, they don't got much over there. They like to brag, oh, we have so much depth. Not really. You don't have like a number one option. It's like football. You got 3 quarterbacks, you got none. And so that's kind of the situation they're in. What do you think, Steve? Then we'll wrap it up.
I got nothing over here for that one.
And I don't know. I think that's kind of the same breeding ground that Trump came out of. Like, whenever it came to like the 2016, he, wasn't there like 16 candidates that was all in the debate? Yeah. And then, obviously 16. I think there's like 4 of them, 5 of them that was like kind of considered.
Great.
Yeah. And then. Yeah, so maybe out of all this nonsense, someone's gonna come out of the woods. So that could be a thing.
No, it's so the reason for the question really was JD Vance is not. He's like a historically almost unprecedented, overwhelming favorite going into the primary. Right? You've almost never seen this. And so I'm wondering, are Republicans going to be falling into a trend? And I like JD. I actually don't have many negative things to say about his performance at all. In fact, I would say oftentimes he's actually one of the few people who goes against the groupthink, right? And so you saw that in those text messages in Signalgate that were released. He was actually the only one trying to provide a different opinion. I like the man, but the numbers speak for themselves. Like, I really think it's going to be an anchor, and I feel like he's going to be Sisyphus. There's, doesn't matter how well you do, you can't push that rock up that hill because that rock is so heavy and it's named after Trump. That's my opinion on that. But you guys have been very generous for your time. Again, thank you all for Jenner Coker. And we're going to get to the ending monologue. But that was a really good.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.